Here we're asked to graph an equation by plotting points. Then we're going to use a graphing utility to determine the intercepts and include those in our graph. We're asked to graph the equation 2x minus 7y equals 21. We're going to go ahead and solve this equation for y. We want to get y by itself. We'll start by subtracting 2x from both sides. So we'll have negative 7y is equal to negative 2x plus 21. We're going to divide both sides by negative 7, which will give us y is equal to 2/7 x minus 3. To get some points to graph, we're going to make a table of values. Just need a couple of points here. So we're just going to pick a couple of values for x and evaluate this for y. Each ordered pair then, x, y, gives us a point on our graph. We'll go ahead and let x equal negative 7. If x is equal to negative 7, we'll get 2/7 times negative 7, which is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. We'll also go ahead and let x equal positive 7. 2/7 times 7 is positive 2. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. This is a linear equation, so we're only going to need to plot 2 points to get our graph. Next, we're going to use our graphing utility to approximate any intercepts. To do that, we're going to input our equation, y equals 2/7 x minus 3, and our y equal to menu. When we enter fractions into the graphing utility, it's really important to group the fraction in parentheses. It's not always necessary, but it's a good habit to get into so that we don't get any implied multiplication or implied division. So we're going to have 2/7 x. I've grouped my 2/7 together, then minus 3. We'll go ahead and use a standard window, so we'll do zoom 6. You can see our graph. It crosses the y-axis, and it looks like it's going to cross the x-axis, but it's not quite visible. So we need to change our x max value a little bit. We're going to go ahead and change x max to 15. We're going to leave everything else the same. We'll graph again. So now we can clearly see where it crosses the x-axis. We're going to go ahead and find the y-intercept first. To find the y-intercept, we need to let x equal 0. So we're going to go to our calc menu, second in calc. We're going to pick the first option, value. When we do that, it's going to ask for a value for x. We want x to be 0, so we enter 0, hit enter, and we see that our y-intercept is negative 3. Next, we'll find the x-intercept. Again, we go back to our calc menu, second in calc. But this time we want the y to be 0, so we're going to use the second option, number 2 here. It says 0. When we do that, we're going to be asked a series of questions. The first is the left bound. What we need to do there is scroll the cursor so that it's to the left of the point we're interested in. We're interested in the point where it crosses the x-axis, so we're going to scroll close to that point. We want to stay to the left. We'll hit enter to select that point, and we see that it marks it up above. Then it asks us for a right bound. Here we need to go to the other side. We want to go on the right side of the point we're interested in. So we're going to scroll over to the right, making sure that we're clearly past the intercept. We'll again hit enter to select that point. Now where we actually stop on either side of the intercept is really arbitrary. We don't want to get too far away, so we want to kind of stay close, but make sure you're clearly away from the intercept. The last question is a guess. For our guess, we want to move close to where the graph crosses the x-axis. Again, it's fairly arbitrary. We just want to make sure we're pretty close to it. And we'll hit enter to select a guess. And then the calculator tells us that our x-intercept is 10.5. Now that we have our intercepts, we're going to use those and the points that we found earlier to sketch a graph of this equation. Here we've rewritten our equation, where it's solved for y. We've listed the 2 points that we found from our table of values, and we've listed the 2 intercepts we got from our graphing calculator. We're going to go ahead and plot these 4 points. Here we have a scale of 2, both in the x and y direction. So if we want to plot the point negative 7, negative 5, we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 7, and then 2, 4, 5. So here we're at negative 7, negative 5. Plot the point 7, negative 1, we'll go 2, 4, 6, 7, and then negative 1 put us down here. Intercepts, we have 0, negative 3, so x is 0. down to 3. There's our y-intercept, and our x-intercept is 10.5. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and just a little bit past 10 here at 10.5. And we're going to go ahead and sketch the graph of our equation.